What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Yash here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope everyone is absolutely having a great day so far. What we're going to be covering today is the must-knows for Facebook ads for 2020 and onward. So just to backtrack a little bit, if you guys already don't know what I do e-commerce, I do drop shipping, right? I use Facebook ads to drive traffic to my online dropshipping stores. That's how I run, manage, and scale the traffic that comes to my online dropshipping stores through Facebook ads. So I have been utilizing Facebook ads for about 2.5 years already. If you guys are already familiar with Instagram influencers, that's basically how I started my journey, but I later transitioned on to Facebook ads. Okay, so I know Facebook ads can be a little bit complicated as especially if you guys have not really dove into it so much just yet. It's more of a learning curve. Being adept with the ads manager is a skill within advertising, was a skill within marketing itself. Okay, so like I said, if you're just getting into Facebook ads, or if you soon do plan to utilize Facebook ads, I would definitely stick around for the whole entire video, because this video is going to be absolutely jam-packed for the must-knows of Facebook ads for 2020. So, guys, with that being said, if you guys have not already liked the video, please, please, please do so. It would mean so much to me. And if you guys can subscribe, that would also mean so much to me. And definitely turn on your post notification bell, so every time I do upload a new video, you guys do get notified. So guys, to get straight into it, like the title says here on my screen, the must-knows for Facebook ads in 2020. So again, repeating myself, Facebook is a little bit of a complicated platform, right? Especially the back portion of it, the back-end ads manager, okay? You really have to be familiar with the KPIs and the data points and the analytics and the metrics. Because the thing is that you guys can start using the ads, you guys can, start spending money, and, you guys have all this data coming in, but what's the point of all this data if you guys don't know how to analyze it and how to make good decisions from your actual data, okay? That's the main thing that's going to be, helpful in terms of scaling your online dropshipping store, okay? Knowing your KPIs, knowing your vanity points and your metrics, and what to do, when to do, how to do that, okay? So what we're going to be covering today mainly are the different KPIs, what to look for KPIs, what they stand for. And at the end of the video, if you guys also stick around, I'm going to be showing you guys how I exactly structured the columns of my business manager, so it's as accurate as possible and as helpful as possible for you guys to basically read and analyze your KPIs as well. So definitely stick around till the end of the video, where I actually dive into one of my own personal ads managers, and I'll actually show you again how I set up my columns. So with that being said, guys, again, knowing your KPIs is so important, especially if you guys want to scale with Facebook ads and actually know what decision points you're making and when to pivot and when to adapt. Okay, it is so vital, because I can almost say that so many people I know just wing Facebook ads, just half-ass Facebook ads, and that's really not what you should be doing, because it really doesn't take long to waste your ad spend. Okay, so again, guys, utilize your budget as efficiently as possible from the get-go. Know your fundamentals, know your foundation, and know your base, and then have a proper execution plan. Learn, rinse, and repeat. Okay, that's how you learn Facebook ads. It's through trial and error, but knowing your foundation is so key. Like, I had literally no one explain me on the Facebook Ads Manager back, and I was so confused. So I'm here to make that clear for you guys. I'm really here to help you guys, so you guys don't really make the same mistakes I did, and you guys have a proper point of guidance and something that you guys can obviously refer to as well. So guys, to get straight into it, first and foremost, so guys, impressions, okay? Your impressions are basically the total number of times your ad was simply shown. So how many times was your ad shown in someone's newsfeed? That's all it basically means, okay? So again, very important to know, because some people get that confused with views. So very, very important to know, guys. So what we have next here is cost per impressions. I'm sorry about that typo. Which is basically CPM. It basically means the average cost to show your ad 1,000 times. Okay, now people may agree or disagree with me, but a good CPM is around 10 to 20 bucks. Anything over 20 bucks or 25 bucks is relatively high. So you want to aim to that for that 10 to $20 CPM mark. Now, guys, depending where you are in, your Facebook ads journey, your campaign journey, all of these KPIs and metric points will differentiate, okay? The more money you have spent on Facebook and the more seasoned and mature your pixel is that little piece of software, if you guys already don't know, that tracks everything on your website and on your ads. These will vary, and especially when your ads are first optimizing and when you have a new ad account and new pixel, all of this will take time in the learning phase. So, sometimes these metrics will adjust, but this is a very base kind of benchmark in terms of what these KPIs should be and when they should be, okay? So just a little bit of a disclaimer, so just keep in mind, guys. Your frequency is the average number of times each individual has basically seen your ads. Really, there's no right or wrong number, for this number. It's just good to know. Spent. Okay, so this is overlapping a little bit. I apologize, guys. So now it's click-through rate, which is CTR, which basically means the percentage of people who have saw your ad and who have clicked over to your sales page. Okay, that's what basically CTR or click-through rate basically means. So a good click-through rate when you're first initially cold testing is about 1 to 2%. If your click-through rate is any lower than that, it's something in your ad copy, meaning in your ad creative, in your picture, video, thumbnail, or in your actual ad text, okay? So that's what basically click-through rate means. Obviously, the higher it is, the better. I've seen click-through rates as high as 3 to 5% or even more when cold testing. But your click-through rate will increase as you narrow down your audience and move towards a more specified and accurate audience as well. Like when you move into warm and hot audiences, your click-through rate should be about at least 2 to 4%. Obviously, the higher or better. The higher, the better. And again, that's the same thing I wrote here. When you're cold targeting, an average CTR of 1 to 2% is good. And then moving on, when you move to a more narrow audience, a CTR of 3 to 5% is what you want to typically aim for. And that not only depends on the targeting in your ad, but it also depends largely on your actual ad copy, like I was explaining to you guys before. Link clicks is basically the number of people who have clicked on your ad and who are directed to your sales page. Very simple, very straightforward. CPC is the average cost of each click from your ad over to your website. So how much is it costing for someone to click on your ad and direct themselves over to your actual website? So this, you want to typically have under $2.50 from the point that you start cold testing right off the bat. Because the higher this number is, guys, the less you're getting for every dollar you spent, the less you're getting your return back, basically. You want to make the best bang or the most bang of your buck. That's kind of the saying. So under 250, but I typically like to see numbers below $1 or below $1.50. That's usually really, really, really good for your CPC. And I can even, again, repeat it right here. So when you're cold targeting, your cost per click should often fluctuate. If your cost per click's above $2, turn that ad set off. If that ad set's within the campaign, obviously. And then, again, when you're moving to warm and hotter audiences, an optimal CPC is under $1. Checkouts is, again, very self-explanatory. Got myself into a tongue twister there. It's basically the number of people who have converted to customers from your ad. Initiate checkouts is the number of people, it's basically the number of times people are adding something to their cart. and they went ahead with the checkout process. That doesn't mean necessarily they purchased something, but they have initiated that checkout process. Okay, so that comes after add to cart. So add to cart is again the number of people who have at least added a product or multiple products from their cart from your basically from any landing page or any product page, I would say. Yeah, this is a big one. What a lot of people are really confused about, your cost per checkout or CPP, cost per purchase or cost per customer, meaning how much is it costing you to acquire each individual customer. You want this to go as down as possible long term. Okay, I always say that advertising is a long term game, no matter if it's Facebook or Snapchat or Twitter or Google or whatever it may be, it's a long term game. Okay, so what it basically means is how much each sale has costed you so far. So how you basically calculate it is the amount spent dividing it by the number of checkouts. Okay. Um, Again, the goal of this number is to go lower and lower. Um, to as your ads get shown to a higher quality of audience. So again, it's basically in layman's terms, it's basically how much is it costing you? How much money do you have to spend to basically acquire a purchase or to acquire a customer? Okay, that's all it basically means, guys. So the lower that number, the better, just in general. And again, these two guys are very, very important. So definitely stay away or definitely stay put for the whole video because you'll see how these two kind of diverge into other factors as well and how to really calculate these. So return on ad spend or ROAS is basically the total website conversion value divided by your ad spend, basically. Okay, so saying that your ads have a ROAS of 100, which would be really good. Sometimes you'll see that if you start your ads at 12 a.m. and like by 12:10 a.m. you got a purchase on an ad set, depending on the sale, the how much money I spent and the conversion value, meaning um the value of the purchase, your ROAS will be like a few hundred. I've even seen it a few thousand, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's all it basically means, guys. So again, saying your ads have a ROAS of 100 basically means that for every dollar you're investing in advertising, you get $100 in return. That's what it basically means. And lastly, guys, we have our break even point. So just like I said about a minute or two ago, break even point and ROAS correlate very hand in hand together. And this is where a lot of people don't know how to efficiently and effectively scale because they don't know their break even point because they don't know how to base their ROAS off of it. So obviously, any ROAS in the beginning, guys, is good. You are looking for a return on your ad spend in the get go. But once you start to scale, again, you want to efficiently spend your ad spend and you want to maximize that return that you're getting as well. So once you start scaling, depending on what your situation is, where you are in your Facebook ads journey or campaign journey, you want to know your ROAS. If your ROAS is continuously lower on average for a campaign or for a specific ad set, especially when you're scaling, you want to cut that ad set off. So it's very important to know what your break even point of a specific ROAS is. Okay, so I'm going to actually show you guys an example. I know this may sound a little bit confusing just now, but hold on to me and I'm just going to show you a very quick example. So we're going to come back to that, but I want to tell you guys how Facebook ads really work in layman's terms, okay? So, and this is super helpful for all of you guys who are beginners, okay? And you'll see how break-even point and ROAS ties into this as well. So I like to see Facebook ads as 4 phases. Phase 1, you're going to be losing money and you're going to be in the negatives because excuse me, with any sort of paid traffic, it takes time to nurture, it takes time to season, it takes time to basically feed your pixel that data that it really needs. It has to be educated because you're also educating your audience. So, like they say, it takes about 3 to 8 times to reach a certain person before they convert. Okay, so phase 1, unless you're really lucky with Facebook ads, especially if you have a new ad account, a new pixel, you're going to be losing money, guys. Okay, it's just kind of what to expect. You're not going to be profitable right away. I know a lot of gurus and a lot of other people, they leave that kind of stuff out, but it's really the truth. Phase two is when you really start to break even, assuming everything you're doing is properly. And again, know your BEP or what your break even point is. Okay, so your break even point of an ad is basically for when the ad would basically pay for itself. So you're not losing money or you're not gaining money, okay? You're kind of neutral. So to determine what your break-even point is, divide the cost of the ad by your profit margin, okay? For instance, if you spend $4,800 for an ad and your profit margin is about 15% on a product, you would have to sell $32,000 worth of products or of that individual product to get a break-even on the ad, okay? For example, 4,800 divided by 0.15 or 15% is $32,000 in terms of basically what you have to sell. Okay, so it's a very good idea to gauge, and calculate the number of customers you'll need to reach that dollar amount. Basically, what a single customer needs to spend with you. For instance, if the typical customer spends $50, you would need 640, which is 32,000 excuse me, dollars divided by 50 customers to pay for your ad, okay? So if you convert half the people who respond to your ad to customers, you'll need a total of 1,280 inquiries to break even on the cost of the actual ad. So again, guys, this is very, very important to really know. If you guys thought that was a little bit confusing, I'll give you more of a simplified example in just a minute, or feel free to literally write all of that down or plug in your own numbers or even reverse that or rewind that. It will really, really make a lot of sense to you. Obviously, the higher your profit margins, the fewer inquiries and customers you'd need to pay for the ad. That's why, like, low ticket products do have a little bit of a trouble in terms of scaling and remaining scalable as well. So anyway, that's like the biggest issue people have, kind of that phase two to kind of phase three mark, which is moving over to being profitable and kind of getting into the positive mark, the plus symbol, which is what everyone wants at the end of the day. Excuse me. So the most basic way to calculate that is your total revenue minus your ad spend, meaning how much you spent on ads, minus your cost of goods, your COGS. Okay, and then phase four is again maintaining that profitability, meaning implementing front and back end systems, which we won't get into too much in this video. That's totally a different topic. So I'm just explaining you guys this to set kind of realistic terms in terms of what to expect from Facebook ads. Okay. So like I said, I want to give you guys a very simplified example of kind of that break-even point in terms of when you should know to turn an ad off or leave it on, or when to scale or when not to scale. Okay, now again, it's just very general, it's very generic because I want to make it something that people can really apply to themselves and see in perspective. So, excuse me. So a product, let's say a product cost on AliExpress is $5, okay? And then let's say your shipping fee, assuming that you are using ePacket to ship out that product, is $1. So now your total cost price is what? Basically $6, right? So let's say you're selling that at $24.99. So now basically your break-even point is your gross profit, okay? It's your revenue minus cost of goods sold, your COGS basically. So your selling price minus cost price minus shipping fee is your entire break-even point. So in this case, it would be $24.99 minus $5, which is the cost, minus $1, which is the shipping fee, which is about $18.99 or about $19. Okay, so this results of a break-even point being about $19. So if you spend $5 on an ad spend, or sorry, if you spend $5 on an ad and you get a sale, you profit $5. If you spend $20 and you get a sale, or if you have to spend that much on average, then you're basically in the negative, meaning you're losing $1. So basically, in terms of ROAS, this is your selling price slash your break-even point. Okay, so in this case, it would be $24.99 divided by $19. So when I say this, this is the $19. That's what I'm referring to. So meaning you need a ROAS in this case to be a 1.32 or higher to be profitable. Now, again, like I said, obviously the higher the ROAS, the better. A good ROAS when initially testing is between 2 to 4, or just any ROAS in general. And again, these numbers can, guys, vary greatly depending on what that initial number is, meaning especially what you're selling it as and what the cost price is. That's why mid and higher ticket items are a little bit better, especially on Facebook ads, to get that higher return and to get that higher ROAS in general. So again, guys, I really, really hope this made sense to you guys. This is something that I really struggled a lot as a beginner, and no one really explained to me on how to kind of figure all this stuff out, because your KPIs and your data points, your metrics, they all are kind of the same thing, but they all play such a huge important part in terms of how you're going to do with Facebook ads. Again, like the ad spend, or sorry, the ads manager is a sub skill within the advertising portion of Facebook. And then like knowing and reading these KPIs are like another sub skill, or a sub skill within that sub skill even of the ads manager. So you really have to kind of know this, and the only way to is obviously study this, but just put it into practice actually, guys, because all these numbers will vary, especially like your ROAS and your break even point. So the best thing is to kind of plug and play, and also kind of apply to real situations as well. So I did say, guys, that I'm going to show you my ads manager actually, and how I structure, excuse me, a lot of my columns, or most of my columns, so I stay organized. It's very important to have everything trackable and to stay organized as well. Okay, a lot of these KPIs and metric points here on the top, you'll see already on the sheet. So how you do that if you guys are completely new is you basically go to customize columns, and you guys can basically, this takes a little bit of time to load, but you guys can basically select and search the different columns or KPIs basically that you want to basically have. Okay, so in this case, I already have everything. You can always also re-rank everything and whatnot as well. That's always an option. So once you guys do that, you just save as preset. In this case, I did it, or I labeled it ecom, and then I pressed apply, replace, which is going to be the same thing basically. So, you have your campaign name, you have your budget, results, delivery, reach, cost per result, or your cost per purchase, your clicks, your CPC, your CTR, your checkouts initiated, add to carts, and your CPMs, your cost per 1,000 impressions as well. Okay. Another main thing I forgot actually to add is ROAS, guys. Okay. Um, so definitely add ROAS. My bad. um, so save as preset, econ, apply. So again, replace, yeah, ROAS is very important too, as you guys saw, and your ROAS is right here. I like to keep that on the end. There's no really right or wrong way to kind of put these or kind of structure them. It's just really dependent on personal preference, but these are the KPIs you guys should definitely have. Never only like make your decision off of only your CTR, or only your CPC, or only your ROAS. You have to look at it kind of, and a lot of subconscious thing kind of knowledge plays part into this too, because when you when you look at it so much, you kind of make a lot of decisions on intuition a little bit, but you just have to get familiar, guys. That's really all it is, just get familiar. So again, guys, I really hope this helped. With that being said, if you guys have any comments or any questions at all, please do leave them below. Please like this video, like I said. If you guys need help with Facebook ads, how to launch Facebook ads, how to scale Facebook ads, anything related Facebook ads and Instagram ads, if you guys have any comments or any questions about them, obviously you can leave them in the comments below. But you guys can also schedule a one-on-one growth call with me. I will leave that link in the description below. It's called one-on-one growth call, where you and I, we can basically hop on a screen share call just like this. You can show me your ads manager. I can share my screen to you, whatnot, and we can really see where your weaknesses are. So if you guys need any help with Facebook ads or anything at all, with e-commerce, guys, please feel free to schedule a call with myself, and I will reach out to you very soon after you do. So again, guys, thank you so much. Check out my last video, Follow all of my social medias. They will be in the description. Follow my free or join my free Facebook group, Ecom Masterminds. I will have all of those links in the description below. If I can ever help you guys in any way, please let me know. Comment below, DM me, find me somehow, some way, and I will be gladly available to help you guys. I'm here to serve. Thank you guys so much. And guys, if you want me to make a video regarding something specific, whether it be Facebook ads or e-commerce, leave it in the comments below as well. I want to hear what your guys' suggestions are. So guys, thank you so much, and I will check you guys out soon. Peace.